Hey Nebraska fans, welcome to another video from Just Two Dudes. My name's Louie.
My name's Son.
I'm the dad.
And I'm the son.
Alright, well today we're going to talk about the offense. It's Tuesday afternoon. We're in day 4 of fall camp. And basically the offense is really simple. It comes down to just a few things as far as I'm concerned. Quarterback play and offensive line play. Some of the other things we'd like to talk about is just a real general thing. Will they be better?
Pretty much. And I think this year, I think the offense is going to be better. I don't see how it could be any worse. It's just, to me, it's a matter of how much better will they be. I think we have a couple really nice playmakers, and as long as the offensive line, like what Dad said, as long as there's offensive line play that is very solid, we have a very good group of running backs. Probably one of the best we'll see the whole Big 12 conference play this year is on our team, so that's good. And then we have some playmakers at the wide receiver position, I think. But here's the thing with the receivers. All of them are putting on massive amounts of weight. I think Niles Paul came in at about 227, and Brandon Kinney is around 232, and Mike McNeil dropped 15 pounds to 230. Are those guys too big to where they're going to be too slow?
Well, I think they're not asked to run a whole lot of precision routes. I think they're probably bulking up so they can handle the physicality, because last year it was obvious none of our receivers could. Niles Paul had to be wide open most of the time to catch a pass. As far as the wide receivers go, I think if the offensive line can give the quarterback time to throw, I think they're going to be all right. They're going to have to be, because that's where there's basically two playmakers, game changers on offense that we have, Roy Halu and Niles Paul. So the wide receivers are just going to have to be better. Right. Some of the strengths of the offense. Well, I don't even know if you can come up with a strength. On paper, the running backs, that group really stacks up across the Big 12.
It really does. I really think that the strengths are definitely the running back position. But then when you talk about having good running backs, the very next question is the offensive line good enough for the running backs to show?
Well,
to show what they can do.
Bo says that this is the best offensive line he's ever had here. He's got the most depth here.
The most talent.
He said second teamers are right there with the first teamers, so there's going to be a lot of interchanging. Guys can actually get reps off. That makes it to where offensive linemen play nicked up probably after the second or third game of the year.
Yeah.
Well, now if a guy is you know, if he's not going 100%, maybe he can get some rest now. Maybe he can get some take some reps off in practice and in a game.
You know, he rolls an ankle and needs to sit out a couple quarters. He doesn't have to worry about staying in the game because his backup is just that much of a decline in talent. Now, if the offensive line, the starters don't have to play hurt 24/7. They can get the rest they need, and they can stay healthy that way. And the backups, from what I'm hearing, and especially from what Bo's saying, is not that far of a drop off, and that's really encouraging when you talk about the strength of your offense being running backs.
Yes. Now the offense, you know, hopefully they'll be playing with something to prove. Yeah. After last year, they struggled, no doubt about it. But sometimes you wonder how much of that was when Bo told Watson, put the reins on.
Right. We're
not going to be throwing downfield. We can't complete a pass downfield right now. We got guys coughing the ball up all over the place,
which was true.
Yeah,
I don't blame Bo for doing that one bit, because the offense probably last year, if he wouldn't have pulled them back, they probably would have cost us more games than we would have won.
Well, I think that Iowa State game starting there. I think at that time, I think Bo honestly thought that his defense had a better chance of scoring points than the offense, or at least getting a turnover and setting them up real nice.
Yeah.
So the offense, I think, definitely will be playing with something to prove.
I think they have to be.
Yeah, I mean, after last year, they do have plenty to prove. Yeah. Now they could be sitting there knowing, hey, you know, we had so many injuries that you guys don't know about. Right. We couldn't showcase anything because the head coach put the reins on the offense.
I hope that's the reason. Yeah. I hope we were that bad because of injuries and because Bo just pulled everything back.
So they'll have a chance to prove it, and hopefully they'll feel like they have to.
And the thing with the offense is, it's like, to me, are we going to get the offense that we saw in the Holiday Bowl, which with the 33 points that we put up against a very good Arizona defense, or are we going to get the offense that we saw the later part of the year last year? And I think you will see the Holiday Bowl offense. I think you're going to see that type of attack, that type of efficiency. At least that's what I think. But it all, to me, depends on leaders. Who's going to step up? Who's going to step up every position and be the leader of the offense, to where if things aren't going well, they make sure that they get back on track and go well. When we're at Washington early in the year, which Washington fans are very loud, they could change a game. Are we going to have leaders to where it rubs off on the other team that that's just not going to affect us today?
Well, I think
for that game, in close games, are we going to have the leaders that step up and get the points late in the game?
One nice thing, I think, when you're talking about leaders is if you can have senior leadership. Well, on offense, I really believe your best players are seniors.
Yeah.
I think Zach Lee is ready to be a leader. Niles Paul has always tried to be a leader. He just ends up doing a lot of stupid things on and off the field.
Right.
And then Roy.
Yeah.
Roy, I don't think Roy Halu is a head case, but sometimes you can't figure out where he's at.
Yeah.
Now I know we're not privileged to find out exactly how injured is the shoulder.
Right.
But sometimes, you know, like the Holiday Bowl, he flat out got benched.
Yeah, he really did.
He got taken out of the game. What now? After having a month off, was the shoulder still nicked up, or was he just not there mentally, or is Burkhead better? I mean, because
I don't think so.
He legitimately got benched.
When you talk about the running backs, and a lot of people are talking about how they're going to be used, some think Rex is better, some think Roy's better. To me, we have two very good running backs. So if you want to say Rex Burkhead is better than Roy Halu, which personally I disagree with. I think Roy Halu, when Roy Halu is on his game, he's top 10. He's top 10 running backs in the whole country, maybe even pushing somewhere on the top 5. But Rex Burkhead is the guy that you can count on. I think you can count on him more than Roy Halu right now. And that's kind of a bad thing about Roy, because he has all the talent in the world. But when you need a 3rd down and 2, I think Rex Burkhead's the guy to do it.
Right, you look at the Virginia Tech game, you look at the Oklahoma game from last year, Missouri game, the Kansas game, the K-State game. Those are all games that Roy showed up big in.
Yeah.
But then you have games where there's just complete duds by Roy. Iowa State is one. The Texas game is a massive one.
Yes.
We
needed him that game. But I will say, Roy ran the ball pretty hard that game. It just wasn't that productive. And when we're talking about our best offensive player and one of the best running backs in the whole country, we need him to show up, be more consistent.
You just have to find a way.
Yeah.
You know, if there's no hole there, you have to find a way.
Exactly.
When your team has to have some yards, you have to find a way. If you're going to be considered a top-level running back, fighting for a position in the NFL draft next year, you have to find a way. Now, yeah, I know if you're trying to run through a gap and the defensive lineman's got it clogged, and you know there's a linebacker right there as well, you're not gonna get much done. But anyway, that's just some general takes we have of the offense coming in, and we'll do another video about the defense. Thanks, guys.
And just to let you guys know, we'll have another video on the offense here in a couple weeks.